Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of BAM GPG. I'll be your host, Ben.
And I'll be your co-host, Bryson.
Bryson, we're going to get into another four-round mock draft today. So, as we mentioned before, we're going through all 32 NFL teams. So, today, we're going to go through probably the worst franchise in the NFL. So, the Chicago Bears, as most of you have probably guessed. So, we're going to do a four-round mock draft with the Bears and see what we can come out of it. So let me go ahead and get this kicked off here. So the Bears. So we have the 10th pick in the first round, Bryson, with Chicago. So our needs are running back, center, guard, and an edge rusher. So let's go ahead and get this draft kicked off here. Just a quick recap of the top here. Travis Hunter went number 1 overall to Tennessee. Tennessee needs a quarterback. Chose to ignore it in this mock draft. They went with Travis Hunter. Ashton Jeanty, probably the top running back in the draft, went to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland's also a team that needs to address that quarterback position. And then the top edge rusher in the draft went to the New York Giants. Abdul Carter from Penn State, and then the top wide receiver off the board to New England. So getting him some help out there. And Will Campbell tackled from LSU. Cam Ward, top quarterback in the draft on our board, went to the Vegas Raiders. Now, this one's interesting because Vegas did just trade for Geno Smith. So, you know, he'd be able to, if this did happen, he'd be able to sit behind Geno for a year or two, kind of slowly ease him into the NFL, which, to me is the right way of doing it. But we'll see what happens there. And then right before our pick here at number 9, Mike Green, I have him as the second best edge rusher in the draft. From Marshall, he went to the Saints. So that brings us on the clock here, Bryson. I will let you take the first pick in this 4-round mock draft.
Let's look at running back.
All right, so we are going to go to running back.
Let's look at. I feel like we can get somebody else in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, Cam from Arizona State, I like him a lot. I think he's going to be great at the next level. So he's an interesting one. Hampton from North Carolina is also a pretty good running back. But we can go ahead and look at other positions of need
Let's
here
look
for
at
him.
uh edge rusher.
So let's go to edge. So actually, I can just pull it up here for us real quick. So James Pierce Jr., edge from Tennessee, is the top
Take
one
a
on the
look at
board.
him.
So he graded out 87.1. Bryson, he had 8 sacks on the season. His pass rush grade's pretty good, 89.4. His run defense grade's 84.1, also great. And then his true pass set versus pass rush grade was 83.7. So he's an edge rusher from Tennessee, 6'5", 243. So you'd like to see him probably beef up a little bit at the next level, but he's got good size to him already at 6'5". 43 quarterback hurries. So that's fantastic. That's a great number to have at the collegiate level, right? So 8 sacks, 43 hurries, 4 hits, and 1 batted pass.
You know what? I'm gonna go with him.
We're going to go with James Pierce Jr. for the Chicago Bears. So knowing Chicago, that pick will also be a bust. So we are just kind of want to recap here a little bit, see who else came off the board here. Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman, went to the Bengals from Michigan. I like him a lot as well. Shamar Stewart, the other edge rusher that I like from A&M, went to the Buccaneers. And then Matthew Golden. Green Bay got their wide receiver, Matthew Golden, with the 23rd pick, so from Texas. Edge rusher Mikael Williams from Georgia. He's a pretty good player, too. I like him a lot. Went to the Vikings. And then Derek Harmon, so defensive lineman from Oregon. I'm high on him as well. He went to L.A., so that Rams defensive line, if that happens, it's going to be scary next season. So let's scroll down here. That brings us to the 39th pick in this year's draft. So I am on the board with this one. We addressed our edge rusher there.
So
So let me see what we have on the board still. So I might, with this pick, I might look at a tackle here. So Josh Conway Jr. from Oregon, he graded out a 78.3, allowed one sack, two quarterback hits, and six hurries. He's 6'4", 315, so he's got the size. You know, you can move him up or down the line. Again, that's key in the NFL, right? Having that ability to play other positions from center to tackle. So I like that about him. His run blocking grade was 72.5. His pass blocking's where he really excelled at an 83.6. So I like him a lot. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to take him. I'm going to take Josh Connery Jr. with the 39th pick in the draft. Which puts us on the clock again here, Bryson. So we could go, possibly we could go wide receiver at this pick. You know, give Caleb Williams additional help out there.
Let's look at Jaden Higgins.
Jaden Higgins, probably my, outside of McMillan, probably my favorite receiver in the draft, Jaden Higgins. So he graded out at 90.3. Had almost 1,200 receiving yards on the season, 9 touchdowns. Receiving grade was 90.5. Contested catch rate, 58.3. His grade versus man coverage, also great, 87.8. And the thing I love about Jaden Higgins is his size, right? So he's 6'4", 215.
Let's take him.
Jaden Higgins, we're taking him right here. Which brings us on the board here. Pick 72 in the third round. I'm going to go ahead and look at running back here, see what we have available.
This is our last pick, too.
It's our last pick. So I'm going to address the running back position with this pick. Let's look at Henderson real quick from Ohio State. So he graded out an 88.4, had just over 1,000 rushing yards. His rushing grade is 91.8. Let's see here. Receiving 281 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. I like that. It's 5'10", 208. So, you know, kind of fits the mold for that running back position. Let's look at Harvey as well from UCF. So he graded out an 85.1, had 1,578 yards. Yards after contact, 3.88. I'd like to see that a little bit higher. Rushing grade was 89.5. And size-wise, he is 5'9", 208 pounds. So I want to look at Henderson. So yards after contact, 4.43. I like that a lot more. I'm going to go with Treveyon Henderson, running back from Ohio State, with our pick here at 72.
Okay. End of our draft.
So our overall grade of the draft is a B+. So James Pierce Jr., edge rusher from Tennessee, got a B+ on that pick. Josh Connery Jr., a B+ tackle from Oregon. And then receiver I really like, Jaden Higgins from Iowa State, gave us a C+ on that. And then Treveyon Henderson, halfback from Ohio State, we had an A on that one. So that is
actually our best pick.
That was, yeah. So that is our Chicago Bears mock draft. You know, let us know how you feel. If you're a Chicago fan, feel sorry for you, but let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you be happy with this draft? I know you've been addressing your offensive line so far this offseason. You get to hang that banner again once again, winning the offseason. Then we check that box once the season starts for finishing 4th place in the NFC North, right, Bryson?
And as always,
let's go, Pack, go.